Hello Flat Earth researchers, debaters and debunkers. This is going to be a quick demonstration of how we have been deceived by the manipulation of numbers and equations to have us perceive and believe the physically impossible, sticking to the outside of a spherical Earth. Let's be clear to start with that we all understand and get the model, that if you have a sphere or a circle, then down is in all directions around this sphere or circle towards the center of mass. This is the way the globe is described, and of course we are told that it is the specific mass of the Earth, that the globe Earth, that creates weight on the Earth. But really, all we can really tell and prove is a direct relationship between masses and the mediums that they are in, making them go up or down. Weight is gravity. There is no external force creating weight, okay? The force of gravity, if you like, is created by having a weight or a mass in a less dense medium. That's all we can tell. On this Earth, it cannot ever be proven that down becomes perpendicular or opposite to the original down, and we're also told to perceive and believe that the heavier something is, the more easily it will stick upside down to this spherical Earth, which of course we know from real life experience is complete nonsense. But this is what we are led to believe. So what we have here is a ball, okay, and we have water. Now remember that mass is something of a specific volume with a specific density. It's contained. So we have some tea here. It's just water with some tea to color it, okay? So this is now a mass. This water in this tub is now a mass, okay? But they are also mediums when you put something more or less dense into that medium, okay? And of course this is a mass as well. All right, so let's just start with the example that if this ball is obviously heavy in the medium of air, so it will fall. It has more density because it has this plastic coating, but the air inside it is pretty much the same density as the air around it. It's the plastic container that makes it heavy, okay? If this ball was helium, then of course it's still a mass, but it is a mass with a less density than the medium of air. And then if it would rise up, it wouldn't be defying gravity. It would simply be you create that upward force by creating a mass that has less density than the medium around it, which is pretty much the same as putting it in the water. Yeah, this is a mass of air contained in a ball, so it has less density than the water around it, okay? So therefore it floats. And if this was helium, then it would continue to float. Again, if this was a helium ball or balloon in a vacuum, which is basically less dense than air or almost zero density, then the helium mass becomes heavier than the medium around it. So of course it will then fall if it was in a vacuum. Of course, bearing in mind that to create a vacuum you need a container, okay? So gravity simply cannot act as a container. You need a solid barrier. Anyway, so what we have is masses, okay? So of course we could weigh this mass of water in the medium of air and it will have a certain weight. But if we put the water into the same medium, then of course it will float. Let me just add some more water to demonstrate this properly. So we can see now that this mass of a similar density to the medium is now floating. There is no upward or downward force. It's just at an equilibrium. Okay, so really this is where measurements should start. There is no acceleration up or down, okay, for this mass of water in the medium of water. And you can do this infinitely. People will say that, well, if you take this and you weigh it, then you will get the combined mass of this and this. Yes, of course. But then what you're doing is weighing mass, a combined mass in the medium of air again. But you can just add more and more containers of water. Where does it end? This is what you have to understand. Yeah, there's infinite possibilities here of things floating in other things. So there is no upward or downward force, there is just neutral buoyancy. But the equations for gravity are based on having a mass that is in a less dense medium, so of course it will go down. Okay, so the equations for gravity start with a mass in the medium of air. They don't start with a mass of equal density in a medium of equal density, which is where they should start. This is a simple manipulation of perception, a perception deception to have us believe that we are on a globe. So you can't weigh this mass in the medium of air. You can only weigh it when it becomes a mass that is more dense than the medium around it. It's very simple. It is relative density. It is just a direct relationship between a mass and the medium surrounding it. It has nothing whatsoever to do with the alleged mass, shape, size, volume of the Earth that we are on. So again, if you want to prove the claim that down on this Earth is in all directions towards the center of a spherical mass, which is perfectly acceptable in a model, you have to be able to show that down becomes perpendicular, and that the heavier something is, the more easily it will stick to the side of a sphere, or the bottom of a sphere in the opposite direction to down in the first place. Thank you very much.